Hello, everyone. You just watched that video, right? That is the celebration that came about after Charles Soludo was declared the winner of the election that was done yesterday in Anambra State. The election, of course, was rife with a lot of vote buying, according to some of the reports that came. There were also violence in certain parts, and there was a councillor that was actually killed in the process. You know, election is not war. It's supposed to be people being able to choose the person that they want to vote for. But that's not the main issue for me why I'm doing this video. Basically, it's for us to look at this particular video. You saw the video that came on before I started speaking, and that was celebration, which is a good thing. I mean, people have won in whatever ways that they feel that they have won. At the end of the day, a number of people chose what they wanted, you know, and it went that way. I, for one, I really, if the people vote in a certain way, even if it don't, they say they sold their vote, it is the ones that wanted to sell their vote that came out. The other ones that didn't want to sell their vote, they stayed at home and they never came out. And so it is, for me, it's about, if a result is declared, let it be declared. Whoever it is that won, let it be seen that this person actually won it. And this is who the people wanted, whether the person is a good candidate, it's not a good candidate, it's the best candidate, it's not the best candidate, as long as that's what the people want. That's all. The where I have problem with is where it is not what the people want. The people vote in a certain way and the election is rigged in a certain way. That is where the biggest of all problem is. But anyway, this whole video is not really about all of this. It's about the policemen that were in this video, and they were celebrating and they were also shooting in the air. The Nigerian police should dismiss every one of them. Yes. Because the police is supposed to be an institution that is not biased. It's supposed to be unbiased. The main purpose for it is to protect lives and properties. It's not supposed to take part in anything, whether celebration or whatever. This kind of police at the end of the day are not going to be there protecting human lives in Anambra State. They're just going to be there to do the bidding of whoever it is that their master is. And I'll give you an example. When you go to watch, you know, professional football, you are in a stadium or you're watching TV. Let's even use maybe Premier League as an example. You're watching. Check out, there are usually some people who even back the players. They're not supposed to get carried away. They're not supposed to watch. They're not supposed to do anything. Their own is the protection and focus on security and any security threat, you know, that might be coming in. Sometimes you see them, it's their back that is facing, whether there's a goal or there's nothing. They don't flinch, they don't move. They just focus on the crowd in making sure that everything is properly secured. That's the kind of role that the Nigerian police are supposed to play. Somebody might say that, oh, you know, but these police are attached to the government house, and so because of that, they will have a kind of affinity, one thing or the other. But that is not a reason for them to go outrightly in this manner. Did you watch that video? If you didn't watch that video properly, just pause. Towards the end, you will actually see the police that shooting. There is even a particular man, I can't remember how he said it precisely in house. He was telling them to stop. It's okay, it's okay, stop it. He was telling them in Hausa to sort of like, stop, because usually you find a lot of when the police and all of that, whether soldiers, police, DSS, all over the country, they usually sort of like swap them. Some people from one region will be taken to another, just like maybe you do NYC. Because even when I go to the southern part of the country, most especially the police that I meet there are always, Hausa speaking. They understand Hausa. So they send them all around the same way you find people who are done from other region. They are sent into another region, probably to foster a kind of unity or ensure that you don't have alliance to somebody else within that your community. Because if they leave you from the community you are from, you probably will have to say, I'm just speculating here, I really don't know the tea. But he was telling him in Hausa, sort of like, no, it's okay, it's okay. And you see the exuberance that were exhibited by these policemen, and the manner in which they were throwing, all of this tear gas, shooting into the air, rather not tear gas, shooting into the air, gleefully, happily. I'm not saying you shouldn't be happy. Yeah, I mean, if you're the person that you're currently serving is the one that get into office, it means that you will continue to enjoy it. Of course, it's something for them to also be joyful about, because if another person is voted in, then definitely what will happen is that that person, when that person is voted, is going to come with his own people. You are going to get kicked. So the happiness is not a problem. It's natural. It's normal. It's human. So to be a bit selfish and want things to happen the way, but for them to exhibit that level of unprofessionalism, it's where the problem really is. And these are the things that ordinarily you should be calling on the Nigerian police to do this. But at the end of the day, we know the Nigerian police doesn't really serve Nigeria or the Nigerian people. It doesn't serve the Nigerian constitution. What it serves is whoever is the ruling party and whoever is in control, whether president, governor, or whatever. They've made themselves that willing tool that is always available for the highest bidder. And of course, the people who are in offices are usually the highest bidders. But this also speaks to the fact that there is so much that is going on in our country where you don't have as much freedom as you're supposed to have. Election is not free, fair, credible in the way that it's supposed to be free, fair, credible. Election is not put out in a manner that everybody has a chance, that institutions are unbiased, are fair, and do not meddle. Election it's not one where everybody has a level playing field. No, it's unfortunately, even from what we've seen in this video, it shows the fact that there's no level playing field and people just do whatever it is that they want to do, anyhow they want to do it, in the manner in which they want to do it. And unfortunately, this has not augured well for our country. But anyway, the election has been done and dusted. You see Soludo being returned in as the governor of Anambra State. And I think APC, from the result, APC came second with 90 something thousand votes. YPP, is it YPP that is third or something? Labour Party had like 10,000 something, votes. And then ADC had about 8,000 something votes. And so these are the votes the people of Anambra State have spoken, and somehow they also spoke in the manner in which Edo State people spoke. And there's a lot of selling of vote. Well, people, I think we might need to get to a place where if they're going to decriminalize selling of vote, then let them just decriminalize selling of vote so that people will not bother about election campaigns and everything. On the day of election, you just go there. If you're the kind of person that want to buy a vote from people and say, oh, let them come and vote for you, then you run for election. If you're the kind of person that doesn't want to, then you just leave it and you just go home, rather than people, wasting their resources, money, and everything in the campaigns that are being done. At the end of the day, it goes to the highest bidder. Because when you're talking about the highest bidder, the people who are in charge of the coffers of the state would always have that highest we always be able to outbuy every other person. Or maybe another thing that should be looked upon is that let there no longer be second anybody running for office for the second time, especially when it comes to gubernatorial election and presidential election. Let it be a one-term thing. If you enter, you work, please be going, instead of all of these things where the resources of the country is wasted on these elections. And at the end of the day, it's all about who is it that is the highest bidder. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.